Treyven and Guy Wolf, The Flint Skatepark Adventure by Joseph Mercurio. Chapter 1. Dad Spots a Skate Park. One evening, Joe was tidying up the kitchen. "You know," he said slowly, "every day on my way to work, I pass a little skate park in Flint." Treyven stopped mid-step. "A skate park?" Joe nodded. "It's small, a little run down, but there's a mini ramp that looks perfect. Bet you'd love it." Treyven's eyes got huge. "Can we go?" Joe smiled. "On my next day off. We'll check it out. A new adventure for both of us." Treyven spun in excitement. "Best day ever!" From the porch, a shadow swooped down. Finally, Flint, land of concrete, ramps, and heroic shredding. Treyven looked. A shiny black crow perched on his shoulder. "You're ridiculous, Guy." Treyven laughed. "I prefer magnificent and heroic," Guy Wolf crowed, puffing his chest out. Treyven grinned. He knew this was going to be epic. Chapter 2. First look at the new-to-me skate park. The next morning, they drove to Flint. Treyven's jaw dropped. The skate park looked exactly like Joe said. Faded lines, cracks in the concrete, weeds poking through, ramps that had survived countless storms. The mini ramp, almost perfect. A star-shaped ramp, a few smaller ramps, and an old pickup truck. On top, a cement ramp built like a fortress. "Whoa, that truck ramp is actually kind of cool," Treyven said. Guy Wolf hovered over. "Marvelous. Concrete trucks repurposed as ramps? Ingenious. But nothing beats a sub from Big John's Steak and Onion." "Already thinking about food?" Treyven laughed. "Absolutely. Priorities." Guy Wolf flapped dramatically. Joe walked around, inspecting the park. He noticed the cracks and weeds. He made notes in his head, but he had no idea about the magical crow floating near Treyven. Chapter 3. Flint Facts with Guy Wolf. Treyven skated the mini ramp. Guy Wolf circled overhead. "You know, young shredder, Flint has stories. It's had rough patches, but the people here are strong, determined, rebuilding downtown block by block." "Really? I thought it was just factories." "Oh no," Guy Wolf crowed. "Flint is famous for the auto industry. General Motors started here. Downtown is revitalized. Shops, art, skate spots. And fun stuff? Of course, the Flint Firebirds hockey team, Sloan Museum, markets with fresh fruit, vegetables, barbecue, and your mom's crystal shop." Treyven grinned. "Wow, Flint is cooler than I thought." Guy Wolf flapped excitedly. "History, food, skating, adventure smells everywhere." Joe glanced at Treyven, smiling. "Enjoying it, kiddo?" Treyven nodded enthusiastically, keeping his invisible friend a secret. Chapter 4. Mini Ramp Mishaps. Treyven rolled up the mini ramp, heart pounding. "I'm going to try an axle stall," he shouted. He pushed hard, leaned forward, wobble, scrape, thump. "Whoa, you okay?" Joe asked from the sidelines. "Yeah, just my pride," Treyven groaned, laughing. "Every wobble is a lesson, every scrape a badge of honor," Guy Wolf cawed, circling above. Treyven shook it off and tried again. This time, he leaned perfectly, caught the axle on the ramp, and balanced just long enough to slide back down safely. "Did you see that, Guy?" "I did. Impressive. But now the pickup truck ramp awaits." Guy Wolf flapped dramatically. Treyven's imagination ran wild. Lava, dragons, tornadoes. He dodged them all while practicing mini ramp stalls and small drops. Joe laughed from the sidelines. Where does he get all this energy? Chapter 5. The Pickup Truck and Vert Wall. Treyven spotted the cement ramp on top of the old pickup truck. "Whoa, That's insane, he shouted. Guy Wolf hovered over. Marvelous. Concrete trucks, ingenuity, adventure smells. Let the young shredder show his skills. Joe cheered from the sidelines. I I don't know if I can. Dad, just watch this, Treyven yelled. He raced up the star-shaped ramp, crouched, and jumped off the top, landing perfectly on the rail for a board slide. Whoa, that was awesome, Joe cheered. Treyven then spotted the vert wall in the corner, covered in graffiti. That looks dangerous, he said, nervous. Dangerous? Puh, about as dangerous as cooking bacon shirtless. You'll be fine. Guy Wolf crowed. Now, smell that? No, Treyven said. You will when we go to Big John's Steak and Onion after this. Chapter 6. Guy Wolf Gets Frustrated. After a while, Guy Wolf flopped onto a bench. I can't get him to hear me. His imagination flame is out, he muttered. Maybe he needs a memory to spark it. Yes, memories unlock the flame, or a daring challenge. They tried spotting shapes in the clouds. Joe said, looks like just a cloud. Silly poems. The sandwich flew past the moon and a chicken tap danced on a spoon. Joe laughed politely. Pretending graffiti monsters chased them across the park. Guy Wolf ruffled his feathers. If only his imagination flame could flicker. Treyven hugged him. We'll figure it out, Guy. Let's keep trying. Chapter 7. Sparking the Flame. Treyven had an idea. Dad, I bet you can't skateboard. If you do, I'll clean up the dog droppings all month, and even clean the shed. Joe laughed. That's a crazy bet, and I'd like you to do those things too. Just hold the board and watch closely, Treyven said. Joe caught the board. The feel of grip tape hit him like lightning. Memories of Howell, Michigan, skating, and a little black crow. Guy Wolf? Joe whispered. Suddenly, the crow appeared on the bench. Joe gasped. I can see you. Guy Wolf puffed up proudly. You remembered me, Joe. I never forgot. Tears welled. Joe hugged him tightly. How have you been, buddy? I've been here, keeping an eye on the imagination flame, teaching morals, cracking jokes, and occasionally thinking about Big John's subs. Joe laughed, hugging him tightly. Memories of childhood, skating, and life lessons came rushing back. Chapter 8. Skate Adventures with Dad. Now with Joe's imagination flame reignited, they explored every ramp. Treyven tried axle stalls, mini ramp drops, and board slides. Guy Wolf narrated dramatically. Joe cheered, pretended to dodge invisible monsters. They raced along the mini ramp, balanced on edges, celebrated every success. Skate with courage, taste the wind, dodge invisible barbecue sauce, Guy Wolf cried again. Chapter 9. Big John's Sub and Downtown Flint. Skate Shop Adventures. After skating, they went to Big John's Steak and Onion. Really? Already food again? Treyven groaned. You will understand, young shredder. With full bellies, Joe drove downtown. What are we doing here, Dad? Treyven asked. Keeping my imagination flame alive, Joe smiled. They parked and stepped out in front of Brush Alley Skate Shop. Whoa, look at this place, Treyven whispered. Guy Wolf hovered over. Ah, a skate shop, the heart of the skateboarding universe. Listen carefully, young shredder. A skate shop is more than boards and wheels. It's a home away from home. A place where people who love the same thing gather. Laughter echoes, advice is shared. Tricks are learned and the community grows stronger every visit. Treyven's eyes widened. Really? It feels like magic. Joe nodded, remembering his own childhood. You know,
This reminds me of the shop I used to go to in Howell, Michigan, right behind the Dairy Queen, a tiny place called Skater's Advocate, small but perfect. To your right, glass cases with trucks, wheels, stickers, hats, socks, hardware, and right in front, all the boards hanging proudly on the wall. And in the back, shirts and shoes. Cozy, small, warm, every skater felt like home there. Treyven grinned, imagining it. That sounds amazing, Dad. Jennings, the owner, welcomed them. You guys came just in time. New decks, trucks, and wheels. And, exciting news, we got funding for a new Flint Skatepark soon. Treyven's eyes lit up. No way! Can we go? Of course, Joe said. They explored the shop. Treyven ran his fingers over the grip tape, inspected